So I get a lot of crap from people about how I should be doing things a certain way. Just go on a diet. You should just go back to eat to live. Go back to what you know. You should just do this. You should just do that. Should. Listen, the thing about us humans is we believe everyone else should be able to do the same thing that we can or can't do, or should believe the same thing that we do. And that's where so many of our problems come from. There's rarely creators out there who show this messy middle, the river of misery, so to speak, the part where you have to figure out your own way. Because what we're trying to create here is durable weight loss, not quick weight loss, not fast weight loss, but durable weight loss. Everyone's going to have a different speed. And if you remember anything from today's episode, remember the tortoise's way is actually the fast way. Getting off on tangents, trying new diets all the time, trying forceful measures, trying to use willpower and all that. It's the long way. It seems like the fast way, but it's really the slow way, because you find yourself 10 years later still struggling with the same problem, when if you had just buckled down and did it the quote unquote slow way, you would have had lasting, permanent, durable weight loss. You're listening to the Set Point Science podcast, the show where we master enough first to create durable weight loss. I'm your host, Cheri Alberts, and on today's episode, I'm giving you a personal body update on why my stomach is shrinking and how to stop getting sidetracked by diet tangents. All right, now I'm going to give you an example of the slow way actually being the fast way. So I'm making a purse for my mom, Exhibit A. Beautiful, right? It's seriously gorgeous. If you can come back to the YouTube video, if you're listening to the podcast, you got to see this purse. Each one of these little circles has 20 to 30 stitches. We've got inside thousands of stitches. And the under part, we've got a hand sewn lining. This is really going to be something when it's done. My mom found this purse online. She wanted me to make it for her, and neither of us knew what we were getting myself into. I'm glad I'm doing it, but man, it has been quite a project. It's been like literally a year and a half that I've been working on this thing, or more. It's going to be beautiful and worth it. If I can only work on it like 30 minutes every week, it's going to take some time. Now, everyone watching me from the outside is going to say, you should be able to do this faster. You should just do it this way and it will go faster. But I know my own life, and I know what it takes to get something beautiful done the right way, the durable way. Very slowly but surely working on it as I can, given the constraints of my life. The answer is not to say, oh, just change your life to fit your crochet projects better. No, don't change your life. Find something that fits your current life so that it's durable. I'm on the final stretches now, and I know it's still going to take me another 2 months because I can only give it 15 minutes at a time every once in a while. Because I have so many other goals in my life: muscle fitness, bone fitness, cardio fitness, real quality time with my children, face-to-face, eye-to-eye, real quality time with my husband, relaxing time, sleeping time, making food time. All those things are important to me. I want to eat well. I want to prepare my own meals. I want to save money for my family. I want to teach my kids how to swim. I'm going to teach my niece how to swim. We have our other niece staying with us, and I was teaching her how to drive. All these things take time, and they're all dependent on your brain, your nervous system, and what capacity you have during that moment. And then there's not even the things that you can plan for. Say you get sick, and all that stuff is put to the wayside for a while. Right now, you might hear I have bronchitis, allergies, asthma this week. So I had to take 5 days off, and I'm just getting back into it today with this hoarse voice. And listen, that's just life. We can't erase life, right? We can change the way that we respond to life, and we can slowly but surely chip away at the things that feel important to us. So by the time a couple years have passed, we've really completed a lot of something's incredible. And that's durable, the way we do that. That is sustainable. We can keep that up. When it comes to weight loss, it's the same kind of an idea. I lost 2 pounds, and I'm below my starting weight of 175. Now I'm down to 174.6. It's taken me a few months to get here. That's okay. It feels very durable. And the more I coordinate my life so that I keep chipping away 15 minutes at a time at stuff that's important for the weight loss goal or any other goal, I will see that end goal. In the meantime, I'm having these big things happening inside myself. I know they're happening. I can see them. My body is changing. If you look at me from the outside, it's like, oh, just go on a diet. You're overthinking this, or just go back to eat to live. But I know inside why those things don't work for me, why they're not durable with my life, and how to find something that works for me. The important part here is that you do all this in the correct order. If you try to just go quick and you just try to do these fast weight loss measures like the tortoise and the hare, you might have some success and short-lived excitement. But when the weight comes back on in a year, it's like you're starting over from scratch, or even from further back than you were when you started. So it's not worth it to be chasing that quick stuff. It's actually faster to do it this slow, methodical way that's durable. I heard someone in a comment section recently give me a military slogan: slow is smooth and smooth is fast. That's how my method is structured. I call it enough first. You can't lose weight in a durable way if you haven't figured out how to stop overeating first. If you're constantly trying to go to quick, fast weight loss, lots of fast weight loss, so you can get that dopamine hit, but yet you haven't mastered how to stop overeating, emotional eating, procrastination eating, boredom eating, you'll never be able to create durable weight loss. It'll never stay off. Think about this idea of durable. What does that actually mean? It has to be able to live through all the hard stuff in your life and stay off. The only way to create durable weight loss is to be good at not overeating anymore. We have to do that part first. If we try to push straight to weight loss, fasts, cleanses, challenges, I just need something to make me feel motivated. The work isn't about learning how to push harder or push better. That's the opposite of what we need to be doing. The work is about learning how to stick with it. It's not about having better willpower, learning to prep better, grocery shop better, try new recipes. That's not the work. If that was the work, it would be working. The work is about learning how to be calm and more patient during the journey so that you can create durable weight loss instead of just temporary weight loss that's going to come back on. It's like saying, if you don't have a medical reason to go on a GLP-1, don't go on it right now. Work on the durable method instead. And by the time you've figured it out, probability indicates based on statistics that you would have already done your whole GLP journey, gone off for whatever reason, because of insurance purposes or side effects or whatever, and been right back up to your original weight, or at least like 2/3 of the weight you were at before within however many months. So that's just a sidetrack. These kinds of things, cleanses, fasts, forceful stuff, trying this diet, trying that diet, this thing my friend said, whatever, reading this new book, all these things are just sidetracks. They're tangents. So every time you try something new, it's a tangent. What we need is durable, solid, be working on getting better at being patient. That's the actual work of weight loss. Durable weight loss is about patience and learning the right way. Okay, so the big things that I'm seeing in my weight loss journey that are changing are things you wouldn't notice from the outside, but my stomach has changed. The shape of my thighs have changed. It looked different when I look in the mirror, and the way that my pants fit has changed. I no longer have this super bloated, tight waistband feeling anymore. I had that for a couple years at least, and I had to keep going up in pant sizes, and I would just be so uncomfortably full. That highest pant size I was at is way more comfortable now. I could just put them on, button them, it's fine. And so that for me is proof that this is actually working. And on your journey, you will notice too, you will get those things that you'll be able to see. I've seen changes in my muscle, toned arms, changes in my body shape, the ability to be able to suck in my stomach now, but I couldn't do that for a long time. I believe that was visceral fat, but it was literally like, I just couldn't, it had no movement. And we know that these types of changes take time, and they're based on lowering insulin levels and patterns that have been going on for years. I know my insulin levels are probably helping a lot in the stomach area, but when I was trying to do nutritarian stuff, I'd eat perfectly nutritarian, breakfast, lunch, whatever, and then I was just this craving monster until I would have some carbs, some sweets, whatever, something to take that edge off. And so that's why even on the nutritarian diet for me, even on Eat to Live, my insulin levels, the glucose numbers, I was always pre-diabetic because of the overeating after meals, because that way of eating was not satisfying for me. So if a diet, a way of eating can't support calm, getting over overeating, it's not the right diet for us. Like I do these little calls to sort of see where people are at and see how I can move them forward. And on the call, we always come up with this idea that, yeah, we want weight loss. Like that's a cool thing that we want. But what we want underneath that is peace with food. We actually don't want to be raving lunatics about our food. We don't want to be thinking about food all day, obsessed with food all day, obsessed with our bodies. We want to be calm, peaceful, chill. This is what we're actually looking for. And the only way to do that is to work on not overeating. Stop emotional eating, compulsive eating, stress, procrastination, boredom. That's all emotional stuff. Neurological patterning. We have to be able to end that first. Be able to live in what I call enough land, where we've had enough and we can stop. It's calm, it's peaceful. We go to a party. We don't feel like we have to eat everything there. We're not like all of a sudden activated like some robot, like we have to just go and eat all the food that's available, start scheming for more as much as possible until our stomachs hurt and hoping no one notices. That is not healthy. What is healthy is being able to go to a party, have a few things, move on, and not even think about it. It doesn't affect our weight. It doesn't affect our mood. Nothing happens. Just having peace, having calm, no matter what food situation we're in or out of. That's the actual goal here. So when I see these huge changes in my body, maybe not many other people can see it, my husband can tell, just getting into a car, putting on my seatbelt is so much more comfortable now. I feel like I'm not always spilling over my pants, this feeling of like a busted can of biscuits, you know? That is the worst feeling. And I had it every single day for years. So when we see changes like these, they might not be hugely visible on the scale, but they are enough to keep us going. And if you had a change like that, like I'm feeling calmer about my food now. Many members in Restore are currently saying they're starting to get these shifts of feeling calmer around their food, learning that the foods that they thought were super addictive actually aren't. And we can reduce that feeling inside and forever be a person who can be around these foods that at once felt irresistible. Now they actually feel like they have no pull. Like I mentioned in a previous video, if you're looking at a donut, it actually kind of just looks like a calculator. It's so boring, just an object, inanimate object. This constant searching feeling is over and you finally have peace. That's what we're going for. So find the durable method, find the durable way. I want to share a few anonymous, paraphrased experiences from women inside Restore, because this is how I know that the method is beginning to work for them. The women inside my program Restore, they're not just trying harder around food, they're beginning to need less force. One member began to realize that the sweet food that she felt she was unable to control herself around was not as addictive as she had believed for years. When she began implementing my realistic planning and food neutralization techniques, she planned to have the food and found that she didn't even want it anymore. Imagine your favorite food no longer being an issue. After working with my method for 3 months, another Restore member described a formerly tempting food sitting in her freezer, completely available to her while she had no desire to eat it. She calmly chose something else that sounded better. That is food neutrality. No white knuckling, no battle anymore. It's not about resisting it harder or finding a new way of eating or cutting out all your favorite foods. It's about needing less resistance in the first place. And then we have a member where the weight is moving for her, but it's moving because the frantic part has finally settled down. One member focused on consistent protein and a steadier evening rhythm and began seeing the scale move down after a few weeks of discouragement. And another member has stayed steadier with food through an incredibly stressful personal season, the kind of crisis that would usually cause a total spiral, and she still experienced a small amount of weight loss instead of the gain that she might have once expected. These are not crash diet results. These are women becoming less afraid of food, less driven by urgency, more able to recognize enough and calm, losing weight in a way that can survive their actual beautiful lives. That is what Restore is designed to do. Not women becoming better at fighting themselves or having the fastest weight loss, but women becoming less trapped in the fight at all. This isn't happening just for me. It's happening for the women inside the community every single day. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, this is what I want. I don't just want to lose weight for 5 minutes. I want the food noise to calm down. I want to stop feeling pulled around cravings and overeating. I want to understand what enough feels like again. And I want to lose weight in a way that I can actually sustain and that will actually survive my real life. I would love to talk to you. So I call it a 2-step call because we use 15 minutes to look at 2 things. First, what's keeping you stuck right now? Food noise, overeating, emotional eating, constant restarting, or weight that won't move. Second, we're going to look at exactly what your next steps should be based on your real life, your patterns, and what kind of support you may need. You and I will look at what is happening in your particular pattern, what keeps pulling you back into the fight, and whether Restore is the right next step for helping you get to a calmer, more durable way of losing weight. This call that you and I are going to have, it's not a sales pressure call. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to promise you're going to be perfect. You just need to be ready to stop chasing those tangents and start building something that can actually last. Because the goal is not another diet that you can follow for a little while. The goal is to become someone who can live around food peacefully, recognize enough, stop without a battle, and let weight loss happen from a much steadier, calmer place. So to book your free 2-step call with me, go to setpointscience.com/2step, TWOSTEP. Remember, this is a free 15-minute call. I'd love to get to know you and talk about what's going on for you. Until next time, remember, the tortoise's way only looks slow from the outside. When it's the way that finally gets you there and lets you stay there, it was the fast way all along.